Hey everybody, it's me. It's Jeremy here. It is January 26th. Yeah, it's the 26th of January. There we go. It is almost 5 o'clock. Just about to go home. Let the car warm up for a little bit. And I promised you guys a video. I had hoped to have done it in my office because I had a much nicer camera and a much better setup. But I didn't do my due diligence and install the right software, so shame on me. As a result, you get it here. Anyway, I want to wish you all a happy new year. I hope your January has been a happy and productive one. I know that's kind of hard to say given the reality we're all dealing with at the moment. But at the same time, I do hope that through it all, you're finding something to do that's keeping you active, keeping you energized, engaged, focused, sane. Don't even like using that term. It's not the most kind of some ableist language there. So, but just keep your mental faculties about you. Probably a better way of saying it. And I say that knowing fully well that I've kind of had to get my butt kicked in my own head lately for what I deemed as a little bit of lack of complacency. Earlier today on my Facebook page, I had mentioned a question like, when you think about heroes, what does that mean to you? How do you react to that? What gives you drive? What gives you motivation? I know a lot of people have spoken to this, and I know I've spoken to a lot of my friends who I consider heroes and inspirations, but I never really kind of took the time to really think about what that actually looked like until, I can say really in the last 48 hours. But the seeds were planted by my pal Eric Kinkley back on New Year's Day when he's talking about goals, New Year's resolutions, what are you going to do, what's your why, all that good fun stuff. So the reality is we are 1 year into COVID. In Alberta, we're about coming up on 11 months of some type of restrictions in one form or another. It's 11 months where training, being on the mat, focusing on my goals, really kind of driving hard that gold medal view of mine has been basically put on the shelf. And this year has been an interesting one. We've raised a new puppy for my wife, service dog in training, so he took a lot of TLC. Work has taken a lot of TLC. It's been a year of rebuilding my safety program, putting my program back together, and making it a position where it's going to be not only successful, but thrive into the future. So there was that. I did earn my first professional designation ever this year. Ever really, with my new Health and Safety Administrator designation. So I'm pretty happy about that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say I'm missing the athletic conquest. I'm missing being out there. I'm missing working my butt off. I'd say I miss it. It is good for my mental health. The summer wasn't the best when I had to go and finally admit, after years of putting it off, that I needed medical help to get my depression and anxiety under control. So September, and now likely going forward for the rest of my life, I'm probably going to be on these antidepressants. It doesn't make it go away, but it makes it a little bit more manageable, especially when I can't necessarily get what I need to deal with it. Or not say deal with it, it's another bad way of saying that. When I can't take care of it through natural means, the medicine helps. And I thought I would have been ashamed to admit to that, but I'm not ashamed to admit that. It's not something I necessarily talk about, but it is something that's there and something that happened and something I'm going to deal with. And I was concerned because they do level me out a little bit, so I was worried whether that would impact on mat performance down the line. But my doctor, bless his soul, he kind of put in perspective. He was like, well, it's not going to take away anything. It's not going to lessen your performance any, but I don't want you coming off of them. So I don't need you coming off of them. I don't need you doing these type of things. That's going to do more harm than good. Your medicine doesn't lower those tendencies, doesn't make them go away. It says whatever rage or pent-up frustrations you're feeling, it says look across the mat at your opponent and go out there and, laugh in his face and pulverize him. Well, that's why my doctor's awesome, because I'm going to do just that. But anyway, I digress. Heroes. I have a lot of them. Because, well, I just do. I see people doing things, and many of them, and they each contribute a facet of their personality into my whole psyche. But it's no good to have one if you're not going to emulate their example. Everyone wanted to be Spider-Man when they're growing up, or Batman. You see the pictures anywhere. Be anybody you want to be. Except you can be Batman, be Batman. Why? Because Batman kicks ass. Batman does what needs to be done. Batman deals with whatever he deals with. Right? You could say it for any hero, superhero you got out there. Heck, we have plenty of them. You can even buy subscriptions to streaming media to watch superheroes all day long if you wanted to. Heaven knows we did. But those real life heroes you have, the ones that really matter to you, the ones who you'd move heaven and earth for, the ones that really get to you, you gotta do something about it. You gotta do something to honor that legacy, honor their drive, their commitment, because they too were driven by somebody else. And you do them no justice if you're not following in those footsteps. If they mean something that much to you, my take is prove your actions match your words. Lately, I've been blessed to know quite a few people in the last year. I've been reading a couple books. The three books that really stand out were all wrestling related. John Hanrahan's Wrestling with Angels, Richard Jensen's Be a Champion in Life, which is definitely one of my favorites. I think The World of Rich, I think The World of John too, actually. They both have very similar stories, and they've come up and they've overcome the obstacles and demons that were placed in their way, and they've made something of themselves and been very successful. I think of my buddy Frank Jasper. You guys all know him. If you don't, take a look. Vision Quest, shoot. Yeah, it's nice to say shoot's one of my friends. And I think the world of him too. And just his push, his drive. And then, saying just the other day, out of the complete blue, I get to meet online interactions with a man of Ontario by the name of Ron Hutchison. You guys may not know who that is, but if you are a aficionado of professional wrestling, you would know his legacy. You would know his credentials. Edge, Christian, Beth Phoenix, Gail Kim, Trish Stratus. Well, now I know I definitely got someone's attention with the last one. But no, he trained them. And I read his story. Pain, torture, and agony. And I read his coming of age story where from a young age he knew what he wanted. He wanted to be a professional wrestler. And he was a small guy. People were looking at him like, are you crazy? But everything he did was very driven and focused to that goal. He joined an amateur wrestling team. Actually, he created one at his school because he didn't have one. He took up boxing. He took up judo at the YMCAs in Ontario when they still offered those programs. Like saying, at the age of 17, he goes into the gym. And he tells the trainer, I'm here to learn. They look at him like, are you crazy? And then they go away. They think about it. He comes back again, even more determined. I'm going to do this. And then he does it. And he freaking made a good life for himself of it. Not only was he Not only was he a success in any way, in the truest sense of the word, but he even reinvented his personality. He was the nice guy, but then he adopted his villainous heel persona, the intelligent and sensational masked thunderbolt. And I just think that's the coolest name ever. And then he did it. He became a trainer. He ran his own promotions. And then after 25 years of stepping in the ring, he got back into it. He did another tour in the area that made him famous. Now that's cool. And if he could do it, and if he could battle his own demons as well, back in the brief, you read the book, you'll understand that his weight wasn't where he wanted it to be, and as he was getting on in some years, he says, I need to make a change, and he made it. And that is inspiring. Ron is someone I'm happy to call a friend, and I barely know him. But then again, most people watching this video, that's all how our relationship started too. A lot of you who are going to watch this did something that really clicked, and I could be here for hours running off names and running off credentials and running off everything, and I just wouldn't have the time, because then I'd get home and my wife would be mad at me. But I think of those people that really, really made an impact, people I want to emulate, people whose successes I want to see. I think of two particular who are still at it, still in the grind. My pal Eric Hinckley, who I've talked about on this video before, in this channel before, and then a friend he introduced me to by the name of Greg Kahn out of New York. A man very much like myself. Well, we're 10 years age difference, but similar stories as well. Accomplishing his goals as a heavyweight wrestler, successful one. I want to be like him. I want to be like a few other people. Another pal of Ontario, Mike Martell. Nice giant, but a scholar and an athlete and super successful. So these are people I want to be. So at the end of this, what's the whole point? My whole point is my actions have to reflect my words. Eric talked about setting a goal and having a resolution. Well, my goal is by the end of the 2021, I will have made my competitive weight. I have about 60 pounds to go. I lost 30 prior to lockdown. I have managed to maintain it throughout the year, so I'm going to take that as a little win, but it's still not where I want it to be. It's not enough just to rest on your laurels. You got to do something about it. So there's still more work to be done. That's the goal. Or my resolution is to not let COVID and not let circumstances impede me from that success. Whether it's, as one of my friends mentioned today, dressing up like Rocky and going running in the freezing cold, as you can kind of see through my rear window here in Calgary. Yeah, it is cold. We are in the low 20s. If you want to talk to my American friends, mid to low 20s. My car currently reads -7. So go out and do that. Trudge through, socially distant, do some physical activity, whether it's doing push-ups, sit-ups, planks in my bathroom before going to have a shower in the morning. Whatever it takes. It's kind of the idea. You know, as Iron Man and Captain America said it in Endgame, as they were going to go collect those Infinity Stones to bring back their friends. Whatever it takes. Well, that's going to be my whatever it takes. Because by the end of this year, I want to be back out there. I want to be out there getting my butt kicked. I want to get out there, good sweat, throwing people around, being thrown, and making things happen. I have a bucket list of things to do. I want to be in the I want to compete at the Masters Open. Hell, even for fun. I even told Ron if he ever comes back for his 40th anniversary, he was like, I'll job for him. I'll work with him. That kind of sounds like fun, getting thrown around in a professional ring for a bit, for a good cause, especially if it's for someone who is celebrating a milestone. It's like, why not? We could have some fun with it. There's other wrestling styles I want to try. Eventually I want to try Sambo. Well, I'm big enough to try sumo. I'm going to try one of those too. Try that too. Like to say, my sky's the limit. I want to make sure I'm healthy. I want to make sure I'm able to take care of my wife, who really needs me, and my job that I absolutely love. There's always going to be responsibilities. There's always going to be something to do, and there's always going to be something that's going to take away from it. But in the last week, friends, heroes, mentors, every one of those adjectives qualifies, but you've all made a profound impact on who I am and who I want to be. So, in closing, I love each and every one of you, and I'm looking forward to the rebranded relaunch to this Facebook page and my pin to win. So, have yourself a great day. Stay safe. Love you all, and all the best. And sorry for the finger in the middle of the camera. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. Okay, bye.